Morning. We would like to welcome our John Deere Classic defending champion, Sepp Straka. Sepp, we're going to start off with some opening comments, what it's like to be back as the defending champion here a year later.
Yeah, always good to be back here. Always been one of my favorite tournaments to come to, and especially nice this year after winning last year. Course is in great shape. I haven't seen it since the rain last night, but it was great shape yesterday, so hopefully we didn't get too much.
What memories do you have from last year's first round to going low with the 62 during the final round?
Yeah, big switch there. Yeah, last year first round was terrible. Putted awful, and I actually hit the ball okay, but I just putted so bad. And then had a little putting tweak and just got hot. Ironically, my putting hasn't been as good as I want this year, so maybe this place can inspire some good putting again.
And within top 20 FedEx Cup standings, down to the final weeks, I know it's always goal of yours, as always, to make tour champ. But what's it like to have kind of had some solid finishes and in good standing?
Yeah, it's nice. You always want to finish the year in Atlanta. You don't want to miss out on the last tournament if you give yourself a good chance. And I feel like the last couple of months I've given myself a pretty good chance to get there. A few more tournaments left, one major, and then the points ramp up for the playoffs. So really just kind of trying to make sure the game's in shape. There's a lot of movement this late in the season, and if you can play well, it's really nice to kind of go into Memphis in a good position.
Maybe a few others, but start off here, Craig.
Sepp, the win kind of jump-started an exciting finish to the end of the 2023 season for you. Can you talk about what you took to the British Open, and then obviously the opportunity to play on the Ryder Cup had to be a good time?
Yeah, it was an incredible part of the year right here this time last year. I was playing some pretty good golf, but just wasn't getting much out of it, wasn't putting very well, and then that all flipped here, and went to the Open, had another really great week, my best finish in a major, and yeah, things kind of went from there. Ended up making it to Atlanta. Playing on the Ryder Cup was definitely the highlight of the year, but that probably wouldn't have been possible if I didn't get hot here at the John Deere.
To say the least, last year at the start of this tournament, you were flying under the radar. Coming back this year as defending champion, the highest ranked player in the field now, is it a different feel for you this year? Is there any added pressure on you, or has anything changed in your mindset going into this week's tournament?
Not really. My expectations don't really change. I pretty much have the same expectations this year as I did last year. It's not like there's crazy hype this year either for me, I don't think. I mean, I'm doing all this with having won last year and all that, but I don't feel like I ever really hype myself up too much. I just kind of try to prepare for the tournament and then try to give it my all when Thursday comes around.
Seth, a top 8 and a couple of top 5s the last 6 starts for you. What's going right now, and how do you keep it going right?
Yeah, I've been hitting the ball really good and making a few putts. I think the putter all year has been not as good as I would have liked. Maybe not as good as last year, but I've made some pretty good changes and trending with the putter nicely. So I think that's kind of helped. But yeah, I've been hitting the ball really well, hitting a lot of fairways, giving myself a lot of opportunities, and yeah, it's been nice to kind of have a lot of good events in the summer months, because this is kind of the time you want to be playing well.
Sepp, how are things out at Champions House? Has it been pretty raucous? And did you guys understand? There's 6 guys that were there last year back. Did you guys? How much did Davis Thompson pay to be part of that rotation?
I'm not actually staying there this year, unfortunately. My family's coming into town tomorrow, but until they come into town, I've been hanging out over there, hanging out with the guys and playing some cards. And I guess Davis kind of snuck into my room, so maybe it can work well for him. But hopefully the mode changes a little bit this year, and it's not somebody from that house that wins.
So it's JT, Grayson Sig, is that right?
Grayson Sig, JT, Patton, Kazire, Davis Thompson, Denny McCarthy, Ben Coles.
So you're not staying there, and you paid for it, right?
I paid for it last year, not this year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if I win this year, they got to pay their own way. Yeah.
Sepp, welcome back. You opted into a job several years ago that requires an awful lot of travel. What stands out about this place? Is there a different vibe when you go week to week at all the tournaments? I mean, obviously you won the tournament, but you've been here before.
Yeah, it's definitely a little different. I feel like sometimes we play in bigger cities or around bigger cities, and I feel like the involvement around this tournament is a little bit more. People are proud of it, as they should be. It's a great event, always has been, and it's just really special because, I mean, the volunteers are probably second to none here. The fans are really engaged. They love this event, and it makes it a lot of fun to come here and compete.
In your mind, with all of the changes that have gone on in professional golf in the recent couple of years, how important are events like this one, as unique as it is, to being the backbone of the PGA Tour?
I think they're very important. I personally don't like the small events. I just think it's less competitive. When you get 140-something guys, I think it's always a tougher environment, tougher with a cut. It's always, you kind of have to be ready on Thursday when the bell rings. And I think the bigger tournaments should be bigger fields as well. But yeah, I mean, these tournaments are massive because most of the guys aren't getting in those small field, big events. So for the majority of the PGA Tour, these tournaments are huge, and they kind of are still the majority of the PGA Tour here.
Do you? How regularly do you travel with your family? And was being defending champion here, did you want them to experience that with you? Is that one of the reasons you brought them and didn't stay at the champion's house?
We've got a new son. He's 6 months old, so that's a big thing. He's traveling a little more. If it was just my wife, we would have stayed in the house. But yeah, I think that's the biggest thing. I didn't want to wake up the whole other 5 guys with the screaming baby at night. So I think I'll just take that on myself.
So he probably didn't dig the big dig yet.
He's not doing the big dig yet. Not ready to drive a tractor, but we'll get him there.
How much has your life changed with the newborn?
A lot, yeah. It's a life changer for sure. It's been great. It's been awesome. It's just my wife's been incredible. He's been battling some ear infections the last couple of months, and he won't sleep in the crib. So she's been holding him a lot at night, and it's been a battle for her. But yeah, it's been incredible. He's been awesome. And definitely a life changer, and very grateful for my wife for all that she's done for us.
Has that changed your golf perspective at all, being a dad now?
A little bit, yeah, but the goal I think is still the same for me. Just try to bring the best that I can, try to prepare the best way. My preparation's changed a little bit. Try to be more efficient with my practice than used to. I just go out to the golf course at 8:30 and then just stay there all day, but mainly just for fun, but now it's maybe a little more targeted. But yeah, I still feel like I can prepare equally as much and get ready for tournaments. So that part hasn't really changed too much.
With the rain that came last night, you probably couldn't get away with an over par round, or even par round on Thursday, and then come back and win on Sunday. What do you anticipate this week?
Yeah, I feel like you can never really get away with an over par around here, so I don't know how I did it last year. But yeah, I think scores are going to be pretty low. The course is in great shape, like I said. I mean, the greens are perfect. There's going to be a lot of people making a lot of putts. But yeah, I think it's going to be a lot like every year. You just got to be on from the very start and give yourself as many birdie looks as you can throughout the 72 holes.
Have you replayed that Sunday round? Have you thought about where you were on 13 and 14 and what was in front of you there? Since It all came out okay?
Yeah, I played the back nine yesterday, so I was reliving some of the shots, some of the memories. Yeah, had a lot of opportunities, gave myself a lot of looks coming down the stretch for 59, and then obviously hit it in the water on 18. That's not one I love to remember, but ended up being a part of a win. So yeah, it was very special to kind of play that back nine yesterday and relive some of the shots that we hit.
This is going back 6 years ago, I think, but do you ever laugh at the Kansas City week in regards to you sign up for Q, I mean, the whole story, signing up for Q school that Monday and then winning, changing? I mean, do you ever look back and kind of, when things are down or whatever, like, I mean, that was pretty low and then it changed 6 days later?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, last week I was talking to one of the cart guys at Greystone where I play in Birmingham, and just talking about how fine the line is of, being successful in golf and not. And yeah, I was just telling him, my second year on Korn Ferry is 100 and something on the Korn Ferry list, about to lose my card, signed up for Q school again, go win with 2 tournaments left, I think, in Kansas City, get my card through the finals, and yeah, and now this is my 5th or 6th season on the PGA Tour, and if I didn't win in Kansas City, I mean, probably none of that would have happened. So yeah, I mean, it's just crazy how fine the line is in golf and how much luck is involved in getting where you go.
Good. Perfect. Thank you, Sepp, for the time.
Thank you. Appreciate it.